Well, there's commotion in the parking lot before the show is actually underway here. Rhea Ripley, who's set to defend her title against Sasha Banks in the main event tonight, and Sasha are brawling in the parking lot. Like, you've got the doctors, the security, and all them trying to break it up, but Rhea's just jumped Sasha Banks. He's attacking her in the hallway. And yeah, we have got a Raw Women's title match between these two tonight, and that could possibly now be in jeopardy because Rhea has not even waited till the show's begun before she jumped Sasha. And I guess doctors are now checking on Sasha, and we now have to get into the actual show. Well, now that's out of the way. Hello everybody, and welcome to episode number 313 of the TEW 2028 Challenge Run. This is going to be Monday Night Raw for week 1 of December 2022, and we have a couple of big matches tonight. A Raw Women's title match between Sasha Banks and Rhea Ripley, which, you know, might now be up in the air after what we just saw. We have a fatal four-way to determine who's going to be the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship next, between Randy Orton, Dolph Ziggler, Ludwig Kaiser, and Zergis. And you can probably see tweets that I've made going across the stream. We'll hear from the American Nightmare for the first time since he was run over by Seth Rollins. A match made official between Florence and Indy Hartwell. We have a Raw Tag Team title match, the Viking Raiders against Path of the Dragon. And yeah, a whole lot more. Without any further ado, let's get into, I guess, the actual show. The actual show starts. Wrestling has more than one royal family. Out comes the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And he says, "So what do you guys want to talk about? Huh? Well, I know what you want to talk about. I'm not a man to mince my words. I'm going to cut right to the chase. Last Saturday night, we finally saw the match beyond a Survivor Series, a concept that many, many men have pitched in the past. You know, Survivor Series, War Games kind of go hand in hand. And we saw the Bloodline. We saw Seth freaking Rollins go to war. We saw the Grand Jury go to war. We saw Edge, Randy Orton go to war. But it's not War Games without roads. All roads lead to War Games. All I needed was an opportunity, an excuse to come back and make my presence known in that match. And then, shortly after SummerSlam, I got my excuse. I failed to capture the WWE Championship at SummerSlam, not through faults of my own, but through faults of Seth Rollins, who couldn't handle seeing somebody else possibly be the one to dethrone the tribal chief Roman Reigns. But here we are, and now Seth Rollins is the WWE Champion. Congratulations, Seth. You finally got what you want. I hope it was all worth it. But why? I hear you ask, why? After all those months of me trying to get to the mountaintop and achieve my destiny, why? After all of that, would I help Roman Reigns? Why would I help the Bloodline? The answer is simple. I did not. Make no bones about it. I don't care at all if Roman Reigns or the Bloodline get attacked inside War Games. Hell, if their match was full and they were against 5 other men, I'd probably want them to lose. I did what I did not to make amends of Roman Reigns. No, we still have unfinished business, brother. I did what I did to get back at the man who not only cost me months of my career, but tried to cost me my livelihood, cost me my destiny, my father's destiny, your destiny. That's Seth Rollins. When I see Seth freaking Rollins in that cage, and I see him locked in there, he's locked in there with the American Nightmare. And I turned to Roman Reigns, I turned to the tribal chief. I want to make no bones about this. This was not an alliance. I simply told him, you owe me one. So now here we are. You may think that I've overcome that and I've cashed my debt and I'm moving on. But no, I'm not done with Seth Rollins until I take the WWE Championship from him. Well, Here I stand on Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins, he's a SmackDown guy. I cannot, as a Raw superstar, challenge for a SmackDown championship unless I do one very specific thing. So here on Monday Night Raw, you've got a chance to see Cody Rhodes at the top of his game, because let it be known, in 8 weeks' time in the Alamo Dome, the first announced participant in the 2023 Royal Rumble match will be the American Nightmare. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter, I don't care what number I draw, I could be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 30. I'm going to enter that match, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble, and when I do, I'm going to WrestleMania, and hopefully Seth freaking Rollins, you're still the WWE champion by the time WrestleMania rolls around, because I'd love to fulfill my destiny by taking it from you. Out comes Drew McIntyre. And he goes, congrats, Cody, welcome back, It's been a while, you're starting to wonder if we're ever going to see you around here again. And I'm not sure if you've noticed, but some things have changed since you were last here. And he says, of course I can see that, Drew. Of course my father's championship bestowed upon your shoulder. Let it be known, Mr. McIntyre, just because I've got my eyes set on taking the WWE Championship, the one championship that eluded my father his whole life, does not mean I have no interest in that. And Drew's going, well, I thought you'd say that, And I'm welcome to take you on, Cody, but I've got to find out my new challenger tonight. I've got 4 guys in a fatal 4-way to determine who's going to be my next challenger, but after that, if you're available, I'd love to step in the ring, you and me, former tag team championship partners going at it for the world title. Sounds like a plan to me. Cody goes, I'd be game. Now come the carrying cross call. He goes, there's got to be some sort of sick joke. You're giving this kid here a hero's welcome. Do not forget what happened last time he was on Raw. This man was never run over. Seth Rollins, Solo Sikoa, none of them ever attacked this man. What he did was threw himself in front of a moving vehicle, because that is less pain than being brought to justice by me and my cult. Cody goes, can I help you? And then Karrion Kross gets into me and he goes, sure you can, kid. Listen here. I've not forgotten what happened last time we were here. Me and you face to face. I scared you off. Like I've done a lot of people in the past. And you're a brave, kid, for showing up here again. Because this time I'm coming for vengeance and I'm going to put you out. And Cody goes, who are you? Oh, right. And Drew goes, oh, he's the guy who lost to the Impractical Jokers on Saturday night. And Karen goes, you think that's fucking funny, huh? I'll have you know I didn't lose to those jokesters. Corbin did. And we've taken our K off him, and he can go back to failing in this life, like everybody in this building here in the SNHU arena does. That's nothing personal, kids. And Cody goes, well, Mr. Corbin, Mr. Cross, you clearly still have issues with me, and if you want to sell them in this ring tonight, I'm more than game to go back there, put on my gear, and put you down. And Cross goes, I thought you'd never ask, kid. That's if you make it to the match. Then Cutler and Carcass jump Cody, but Drew's in the ring. He headbutts Carcass. Carcass gets a claymore. Crossroads to Cutler. Carland, I guess, is with Karrion on the ramp. And we just set up a match for Karrion Kross and Cody for later on tonight, because I do have to run it. Because I did that angle, I think Cody had one angle after SummerSlam before he got run over, and it was Karrion Kross interrupted him. So I do have to wrap that loose end up, so we are doing Cody and Karrion Kross tonight. We then get a promo from the Schism. And Casey goes, so, I hear the great evil's plan, the great ruler's plan, did not go as intended when he sent Dijak to stop our little friends over there. But if they feel like they need an army to grow and fight us off, then we must spread our wings, extend our branches too. And that's why you three, Wolf, Aziz, Lyra... I named her Lyra Valkyria because, you know, I just like making sure all my names for actual wrestlers match. You three go out and spread the message of the schism far and wide and bring back to me our new friends. And then they all leave to spread their wings, I guess. We then get a promo in Gorilla from Edge is being interviewed by Kathy with the Viking Raiders. And he goes, Kathy, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that War Games was easy. It's not, okay? When you've had to retire due to neck injuries and come back, it's never fun to be in a cage match of any kind, especially War Games. So I'm still feeling the effects of that tonight. Randy, he's got that Fatal 4-Way World title and Montez match coming up. But these boys, Eric and Ivar, they showed out. They proved why they were veterans in that match. And Alexa agreed because they've got a Raw Tag Team Championship match coming up next. Path of the Dragon, they've been great champions. But these Viking boys, they're here to take. Good luck, boys. Then it sort of walks off and then the Viking Raiders go out for the Raw Tag title match. Which is, of course, a blue-rated match because it's a Path of the Dragon tag title defense. And my goodness, this was a banger opening match. But of course, here's our boys who retain. Tozawa pins Ivar with a diving senton in 14:39. And Path of the Dragon make it number 6 of the Raw Tag Team titles. 86 for both the Vikings, 89 for Humberto, and then 80 for Tozawa. How has Humberto become like the god of this team? Tozawa penalised for poor gimmick. Okay, yes, I have been trying to change that a lot. I will probably also update his picture because there is a new blonde render of Tozawa now, so I'll probably just change to that. But yes, Path of the Dragon do retain when the music of William Regal hits. And he goes, My, that was impressive, it sure was. Takes me back to my days back in that ring. Now, you two. Don't worry, I see that your little dinosaur pet, he's not around tonight, is he? Because he got to prepare for that Fatal 4-Way match later on. So it's fine, I will leave the Ring General Gunther to rest after the impressive display he put on at Survivor Series. But in case you weren't aware, Humberto, Akira, we are officially on our expedition of gold. That includes Florence winning the Liberty Championship. That includes Ridge Holland winning the Intercontinental Championship. That includes even Gunther becoming the World Heavyweight Champion. And unfortunately for you two, you have been great, impressive champions, yes you have, but it's Dudley's time. It's Pete's time. So no more of this open challenge nonsense. You want a real fight? You know where to look. So yes, gauntlet laid down by William Regal. Pete and Dudley seemingly next in line for the Raw Tag Team titles. We then get this backstage segment. Alexa's with Ivy in the office, and Ivy goes, where is Tatum at? Alexa goes, Tatum is, getting prepared for that match with Doudrop on Heat. And Ivy goes, do you really think she can do it? Alexa goes, no, I don't think she can do it. But serves her right for, trying to grow a backbone and be this hero and speak for herself, okay? That's not what your role is here. You're just here to make sure things go swimmingly for me, okay? Then Nova walks in. And she goes, hey, Miss Bliss, long time no see. And she goes, what do you want? Goes, just wondering if you checked out Survivor Series. And Alice goes, no, I didn't, I was busy. Yes, of course I watched Survivor Series. What about it? So, you saw the impressive feat of me being the sole survivor of the Raw Women's team in that Survivor Series tag team match. And Alice goes, I did, yes. It pains me to admit. He put up a good performance in that match. And Nova goes, so, if the Vikings getting a chance opportunity for their impressive performance at Survivor Series in War Games, it only seems fitting that whoever walks out champion tonight between Sasha Banks and Rhea Ripley, I get to the next shot at them. Alexa goes, that seems fine by me. I'm nothing if not an absolutely fair GM, and I'm fair to all of my wrestlers. So, the winner of Sasha Banks versus Rhea Ripley next week will defend the championship against you, Nova. And Nova goes, finally, a productive meeting here. Alexa, come on. And she points her finger up, and Alexa goes, what is that? What does that mean? She goes, boop me. And Alexa goes, absolutely not, get out. And then Alexa gets booped on the nose. And then when Nova then opens the door to leave and she walks off, then we see Lyra just sort of standing in the shadows behind, outside the office, in the shadows, but she's clearly lurking, either waiting for Alexa or Nova or one of the two, after she just got told to go and make new friends. Shush! 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 Gable's already in the ring, I imagine. He's not making an entrance. And he goes, ladies and gentlemen, that's old news. What you got to be looking at is this handsome face right here, okay? Because this is the second night of Master Gable's 5-minute Master Challenge. Thank you. Now, last time I beat some rookie that nobody had ever cared about before, but this time I'm going to beat an actual WWE superstar, former world champion. Come on out, former world champion. Comes Kobain, sad. He's got his green stained shirt on, and he's sad. He's Kobain with a C again now. Gable goes, Kobain, come on. What's up, buddy? You're about to get for your 5 minutes of fame by wrestling Master Gable. Kobain goes, I'm not feeling it, Chad. You know, how long is my pain gonna last for? And Gable just sort of looks. He goes, 5 minutes, give or take. And he goes, no, not in the ring, in life. I can't do it anymore, Chad. I just can't. I'm done with all of this. I'm done with everything. Just get your stupid challenge out of the way so I can leave. And Gable was like, okay. You heard the man. Ring the bell. Thank you. And then Gable beats Kobain in about 2 minutes in the Master Gable Challenge. 77 for Kobain, 73 for Gable, 70 for the match because of course it's short. But none of these are going to be overly great because they're at max going 5 minutes. But yeah, Gable picks up a win this time over Kobain, which is on paper a former world champion, a former US champion that he's beaten, but he's really not. He's not that same guy, you know. He's barely a wrestler at this point. We then cut to the doctor's office, and Sasha's, I guess, knee, arm, something is being checked on. Some limb. And Indy's going, what are they saying? What are the doctors saying? And Sasha goes, well, screw the doctors, okay? I've got a Raw Women's Championship match in the main event tonight, and I'm not giving that up, okay? Rhea can jump me from behind as often as she wants, okay? I'm not going to let her win. And then Sasha goes, well, Indy, haven't you got a match to prepare for? She goes, I'm here to check up on you, you know? The Survivor Series is over. It's us against the world once again. Then Sanga's like, I mean no disrespect to Indy's match, but Sasha, making sure you are healthy is of higher importance. And Sasha goes, just go. Okay. And then they're like, okay, well, we leave. And then Indy and Sanga leave, and we linger on Sasha's face for a couple of seconds before Rhea runs back in, big boots her off the table, and then continues to attack her in the doctor's room as more security try to pull Rhea off. Rhea has completely snapped, you know. Zelina in the ring. And she's sitting on a chair, and she's got all of Legado around her. She's got Andrade, Cruz, Joaquin, Metalik, Lindsay, and Cynthia. No Raquel. I'll explain why at the end of the segment. And she's like, I'm sure you all saw Saturday night. The Legado de la Sombra. The biggest match of their career. And we lost. Okay. We came up short. We tried our best. But unfortunately it wasn't enough. Now I could sit back and, you know, praise Drew McIntyre and praise Sheamus. But that's beneath me. Because we have the tools to get the job done. It's just some of us didn't hold up our end of the bargains very well. I'm not talking about Andrade. I'm not talking about Cruz. I'm not talking about Joaquin. And she sort of turns to Cynthia, Lindsay, and Metalik. And Cynthia's like, bitch, you better look away, because I have you know my man right here, Metalik, was the last survivor in that match. Lasted longer than all three of your boys. So, if anyone failed the team, Miss Vega, it's you. And Zelina's like, how dare you? I was not gonna point fingers at anybody. Okay, Metalik's ours. Okay, he may have been yours first, but he's ours. He's been ours since. We only let you back in because we thought Lindsay was going to be an asset to this crew, but clearly I was mistaken. And in this case, well, this isn't Lindsay. Why don't you talk to your other two boys over there who got pinned? Why don't you talk to Andrade who got pinned? Couldn't get the job done, huh? Why is it all about Lindsay, huh? I think you're scared. And so he's like, scared of what, Cynthia? Come on, please do enlighten me. She goes, you're scared that I'm going to take over and take your spot, and you're going to be redundant in this group. So you're trying to force me and Lindsay back out the door the way we came in. And he goes, don't be so preposterous. If I wanted to do that, I'd just do this. And she slaps Cynthia in the face. And then Andrade hits the big back elbow on Lindsay Dorado. And Andrade, Cruz, and Joaquin beat up Lindsay. And Metalik just stands there. He's wearing a mask, so you can't see his actual facial expressions, but you can see he's kind of torn. Like, does he want to align with Legado, or does he want to align with his old friend Lindsay? Like, he debates joining in, he also debates pulling them all off. When Andrade stops fighting, Cruz and Joaquin have got Lindsay beaten up, and he gets in at Metalik's face. He starts shouting at him in Spanish, like pointing at Lindsay aggressively, going as if to say, beat him up. And then Metalik just continues to resist before Andrade smacks him in the face. And then Metalik smacks Andrade back, and he rushes to the aid. He saves Lindsay Dorado. He fights off Cruz and Joaquin. Lindsay gets up. He takes down Joaquin as well. And then the two of them hit their tag team finisher on Andrade. And Zelina's just in shock as Metalik, Lindsay, and Cynthia walk out together. So there appears to be a bit of a Legado civil war here, which, on the topic of Raquel, I have just taken as the opportunity to also just quietly move her out of the group as well, because I'm sure you can tell where maybe both, but at least one of these is going, because whilst I guess also now two factions, which is more factions, this is technically a trio of cruiserweights here, so, just keep that in your head. We then get Morrison and Ali backstage. And Ali goes, Jomo, are you sure you're going to do this? If beating Veer Mahan was one thing, but Omos? Morrison goes, what kind of a champion would I be, Ali, if I didn't... Huh? If I just took this championship and hid away from the biggest, quite literally, threats? That doesn't make me a champ, that makes me a chump. Am I going to get my ass kicked by Omos? More than likely. Am I going to try? You're goddamn right I am. Because I'm nothing if not a true champion. And Ali goes, just know that I got your back. And he goes, appreciate it. And he leaves. We then get a damage... No, we don't get damage... Well, we do, but not yet. We then get a J-Flow performance. After their Survivor Series victory, I imagine Mackie starts singing. And she sort of stops, and then orders Tam over and goes, tonight, Tammy sings. Tammy was the hero at Survivor Series. Tammy sings. And then she starts singing the song, and we get to the end. Big farewell. And they're like, yeah, thank you everybody, good night, enjoy Raw. When bang, they're jumped by Bayley, Cora, and Dakota, who can float over because, it's a women's tag team title feud. And they just ambush J-Flow, throw Marika and Mizuki and Mina away, take Tam out of the Rose plant on the stage, throw Mackie into the amps and all sorts. Just smash up the set. Bailey takes one of the microphones and goes, This ends. Okay. I hear you all laughing. You think Survivor Series was so funny. I'll tell you what's not going to be funny. The state of this women's division. Once we decide we're done with it. Okay, girls? If you can hear us, you've got things that we want. And we're going to take them whether you want them or not. And then they just drop the mic and walk out. So, Bayley, Dakota, and Cora taking that, sweep from Survivor Series very well, it seems. 81. Okay. Speaking of Survivor Series, all of these women were pinned, I guess, but, they were both a part of matches. Liv and Shida continuing their run as a tag team, taking down VXT here. Liv pins Deonna with the Oblivion. 47 for Chelsea, 73 for both Deonna and Liv, and an 82 for Shida. Nice. Then after the match, Liv takes a mic. And she says, so Survivor Series may be over, and Bayley and Damage Control may have just staked their claim to the Women's Tag Team Championships, but there's a lot of us waiting in line, sisters. You don't get to just walk straight to the front of the line. You want a title shot? Well, me and Shida here do too. And we're gonna take them no matter what. And then they both hold kendo sticks up or some shit. So, all of a sudden, the women's tag team division is looking as stacked as the 2008 WWE roster. We then get, the swallow up Sasha Banks. This time, Bianca and Nova are, she's been held up by them, either side of her, carrying her to an ambulance. And they're like, come on, Sasha, you gotta get in there. You can't continue. She's like, no, screw you. Okay, I've got a title match, and I'm going to get it. And I'm going to beat Rhea, and I'm going to be the Raw Women's Champion. And they're like, so I get the passion. Like, I get how much you want to be the champion, but it's just not worth it, You're not cleared to compete. You can't. Sasha goes, there's no such thing as can't. I'm going up there, and I'm going to wrestle Rhea Ripley, and I'm going to win. Watch me. And Sasha storms off again. And they're like, well, this is fucked, okay? I expected better. Or around... Actually, you know what? That's a lie. I expected around this. Maybe slightly better than this. But they also don't have any chem. So for them not clicking, 70 is good. And Florence wins. 7:48, she beats Indy. So 59 for Florence, 60 for Indy. Again, they are both scoring a lot higher than that, but it's the chemistry thing that dinged it. And yes, a big win for Florence on her quest to, I guess, be the Liberty Champion. We then get Jomo's segment. He comes out and he goes, alright guys, here it is. Bivens, Omos, I'm right here. Then Omos's music hits, now they come. He goes, well, John, I've got to hand it to you. You're brave. Stupid, but brave. Because the Nigerian giant Omos is going to tear you limb from limb. You thought you could get past Veer Mahan, that's one thing, but this man's unstoppable. And if you dare let this man near the Intercontinental Championship, then... And he sort of stops, he's like... So it's on. Next week you will defend the Intercontinental Championship. And Morrison's like, great, I can't wait to wrestle Omos for the Intercontinental Championship. And Bivens is like, great, we'll see you next week when you defend the Intercontinental Championship. And Mojo was like, I mean, you're looking overly confident. I reckon I can chop the big man down if I so need to. Bivens is like, you're defending the Intercontinental Championship next week. But if you keep running your mouth right now, you ain't going to make it that far. Then Omos and Veer come out. They storm down to the ring. Ali runs out from the back. I guess jumps on Veer's back or whatever. But Omos boots him off. And then Veer hits the $1 million arm on Mustafa Ali. Omos hits the double choke slam on Jomo. And then, I imagine he picks him off with the double choke slam, slams him down. And then he just looks down at Jomo. He looks down at the IC title. And Bivens just sort of, Omos sort of looks at Bivens. And Bivens just shakes his head. And then Omos looks back down at the belt. And walks off. As the music plays. What on earth? You then get Rhea. She's with Kevin Patrick. And he goes, Rhea, what is the reason for all these wild attacks on Sasha Banks tonight? Do you not think you can win? And Rhea goes, that you'd love that answer, wouldn't you, Kevin? Well, let me tell you this, Kevin. It's got nothing to do with my ability to win. I could beat Sasha if she was at 100% and I was at 10. Okay? It's just Survivor Series was such a frustrating night because I did everything that I could to beat Bianca Belair. I knocked her outside, I beat her up, and I got her counted out. I sacrificed myself in the process because I'm a noble leader, and I thought my team could handle it. But turns out the rest of my team is weak and couldn't handle any such thing. So my sacrifice was all in vain, and quite frankly, that pisses me. I've got a chip on my shoulder tonight because people are going, Rhea, you made a mistake in Survivor Series. I ain't making a mistake. I'm the most dominant one in this division, and maybe I overestimate everybody else, okay? And Charlotte goes, overestimated? Overestimate the person with 12 championships, soon to be 13? I don't think so. Who gave you that right to run your mouth about the Queen? And he goes, look, your friends are back tonight. Well, I'll tell them the same thing I told you. You're nothing. I'm the champion. I'm the top of this division. And you can take as many of your little friends as you want and your little shiny briefcase there and shove it. Because I've got a title match to defend. Or a title to defend, I guess. And she storms off and Charlotte's like, well, how fucking dare you speak to me like that, woo? 88. Cody Rhodes versus Karrion Kross. Cody wins, of course. 12 minutes 11. Botched interference by Carland. Yeah, because there's no Carcass, there's no Cutler. Karrion's about to hit something, I guess. And Carland's just cheering on his idol, Karrion Kross, at ringside. And Karrion gets distracted, I guess. Beautiful disaster. Crossroads. Kross is down. Cody stands tall. Cody with an 88 and an 80 for Karrion. And yes, the first confirmed entrant in the 2023 Royal Rumble is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. We didn't see Corbin. He's going to leave. People are laughing at him. Just like random fans, random like paid extras. And he goes, Stop laughing at me. He goes, I can't do this anymore. I'm at my breaking point. I can't. And then someone's like, Mr. Corbin? Can I get a Mr. Corbin? And he's like, he looks around and nobody else answers. He goes, me? Baron? He goes, Baron Corbin, yeah. He goes, who are you? And he goes, I'm your Uber driver. And Corbin goes, I didn't order an Uber. And he goes, well, it says your name here, Baron Corbin, to this address. Corbin goes, that's not my address. And then he's like, okay, well, where do you live? And Corbin just like sighs. He goes, I'll get in the car. And Corbin gets in and drives off. Somebody has paid an Uber for Corbin. Who could that have been? A 90 rated match to determine the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. We've got fresh off War Games. We've got Randy Orton and Dolph Ziggler, who I guess cancel each other out. Then we have Zergis and Ludwig both looking to break in to the title scene. And imagine there'll be an RKO to Ziggler and all that shenanigans. And maybe some more grand jury stuff. But in the end, Orton and Ziggler do cancel each other out, as I just said. And Ludwig scores the victory over Zergis to earn the next match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Is Ludwig Kaiser. 84 for Randy, 82 for Ziggler, 78 for Zergis, and an 82 for Ludwig. So yes, that space he made in his vault for a championship, he could be set to finally achieve it and add the World Heavyweight Championship to his collection. But before that though, we've got next week, and it's a show, because we just heard announced it will be either Sasha Banks or Rhea Ripley. Whoever wins tonight's main event will defend the championship next week against Nova Nebula in a Raw Women's Championship match after her impressive victory at Survivor Series. We then have announced, after the Regal Coalition segment with the Path of the Dragon earlier on tonight, Zergis and Gunther go one-on-one. And then we also have, for the Intercontinental Championship, John Morrison will defend the Intercontinental Championship against Omos. But before then, well, not even before then, but that's tomorrow night. That's 1 week away. 8 weeks away, though, is the Royal Rumble. And as we heard, we now know the first confirmed participant into the 2023 Royal Rumble, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. You then see Sasha come to the ring. She's hobbling. You know, you've got Indian Sangha out there going, Sasha, come on, this is dumb, this is stupid. He's like, no, go to the back. If that's your attitude, like, stay back there, I got this. You don't have any faith in me? And then they sort of just do walk to the back, and Sasha storms to the ring, defying Doctor's orders and her friend's orders. She needs to get this championship match. Out comes Rhea Ripley, who's like licking her chops. She's like, yeah, this is gonna be fucking easy. And it is. Sasha is in no state to put up a fight, really. This is effectively an extended squash. This is like Brock versus Cena here at SummerSlam. And in the end, Rhea puts her down with a riptide to make defense number 3 of the Raw Women's title. 94 for Rhea, 93 for Sasha. Lack of psychology in a 13-minute match, apparently. Okay. Then after the match, Rhea stands tall, and she looks down at her fallen opponent, and she tosses her to the outside. She clears off the announce desk, and Sasha gets slammed through the announce desk again. And like the whole arena goes silent because Sasha's been absolutely mollywopped here tonight. Nova and Bianca run out with a bunch of doctors and shit, and then Sasha gets put on a stretcher, and Bianca and Nova are sort of lingering over her, while Rhea's on the top rope looking down at her, just laughing, like shouting at Nova, going, "That'll be you next week. That'll be you next week. You know, that'll be you." And Bianca sort of looking up, glaring at Rhea on the top rope as Rhea looks down at both her and Nova, but specifically glaring a hole through Bianca Belair. Like, you know, Rocky with Apollo in his arms looking up at Drago is the scene to end Raw. So this was a very abrupt angle, and I knew it was coming for a while, so it's fine. Sasha in the game is off to film some Mandalorian shit, I guess, in 10 days. So I needed a way to write her off, and this felt like the way by continuing Rhea Ripley's path of absolute dominance here on Raw. And now Nova gets the shot next week against Rhea Ripley. 89 rated show. There's a lot of good wrestling on this show. You know, got a 90 here, an 88 here, an 85 here, an 81 there, an 88 here. Yeah, fire show, if I do say so myself, but what will also be fire, quite literally, heat. 28 rated match to open Heat, of course. It's the second round matches of the Heat Next Gen tourney. Kathy Cool against Joanna Boone. These are the two that won in their first matches. I can't for the life of me remember against who. One of them beat, I think it was Kathy beat Lucy Stryker, and Joanna Boone beat Samantha Riggs, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But I just know these two are the two that won. And Kathy Cool submits her place, I guess, the first to qualify for the next round, when she wins with a razzle-dazzle in 9 minutes and 6. 35 for Kathy, 40 for Joanna. They've got pretty good chemistry, so that's fine. And yeah, Boom. Kathy Cool, Joanna Boone. Kathy wins. 4 points, 2 points. Which then makes this elimination. And Samantha Riggs cheats to beat Lucy Stryker in 10 minutes and 8 seconds. Again, these guys will probably pop up more on Heat, like, after this is over. So, it's fine. But it's 27 for Samantha, 31 for Lucy. Underhanded tactics get Samantha Riggs 2 points. And she's now tied with Joanna Boone, I believe. But I believe they have already faced. I believe it may be Samantha Riggs against Kathy Cool and Joanna Boone against Lucy Stryker. But again, don't quote me. For this match, they've actually hyped up a lot. A 50 is actually pretty good here, to be honest. Tatum and Doudrop goes 9 minutes 33. I said this to go all out and be open, because this is supposed to be Tatum hanging in there with Doudrop. Couple of power spots or two of her lifted her up, but in the end it is Doudrop who wins. Michinoku driver in 9.33. 59 for Doudrop, 32 for Tatum. And then there'd obviously be an ad on Peacock or whatever. Then we get a backstage segment of Tatum walking into the office. Alexa's like, good job, you lost. I'm sure now you'll think twice before you start going into business for yourself, huh? And Tatum goes, yeah, probably. And Ivy goes, I thought she did great. Alexa goes, but did she win? I mean, I know she's impressive. That's why I picked you to be my right-hand women, my security. But sometimes I have to teach lessons even to those that I like. And a 71 rated main event is the Grand Jury's Julia and Sonya Deville defeating Smile and Shine when Julia pins Kylie Ray with a diving crossbody, baby. Nobody kicks out of that bad boy. 80 for Tegan, 62 for Kylie, 72 for Sonya, and an 81 for Julia. Which ends a quick episode of Heat that gets us a 63. Doesn't really matter. What matters more is what you thought of Raw, mainly, so do let me know what you thought in the comments below. And I'll see you next time for the follow-up from SmackDown, which will be big, you know. After that War Games main event, who knows what's going to go down on the blue brand. See you then.